Hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we have a first kind of a look of what to expect for spring of 2026 regarding MJ releases from Rainbow High, Bratz, Yummy and more. So stay tuned, subscribe, and let's get into it. Of course, this all information comes from Seeing Mount on Twitter, and they also released a little layout lineup for Monster High, G3, and G1, which I talked about in yesterday's video specifically. This is just going to be for MJ releases, which, yes, it's interesting how we don't have any OMG releases here included, which kind of is worrying me because I feel like LOL Surprise OMG was just started to get, back to where it was again. We have the new I Spy series, which here are new stock photos. They are starting to be more available online from what I've seen on the official MJ shop, or I'm pretty sure also Target and Walmart, and eventually like just retailer stores in general, and Amazon too. And then we also have the Powerpuff Girl collaboration, which I think is doing really well, even with people who at first were not sure. We're all really starting to get sucked into those dolls because they're so cute, they really just draw you in. And so it kind of feels like, OMG is like just starting to get back to where it was, it was so popular back in a heyday, and it kind of felt like it just derailed. Maybe they released too much, maybe they stopped getting enough sales, and so they've been a bit more sparse with the releases, but at least this year we have some new stuff, and it just kind of sucks that at least for next year, from what we know already, it doesn't seem we're getting new OMG doll releases. I mean, I'm sure we will. It's just a matter of time and matter of to know more information. But as of right now, Seeing Mount, they didn't talk about LOL Surprise. That's the only brand they did not mention. So it's just very interesting, and I hope this is not the actual downfall of OMG dolls, because again, I feel like there's so much to still do with them. We never got a full-on fairy line, full-on mermaid line. There's so many lines and themes that they have never explored, which is honestly shocking because they've had so many dolls. But what do you think of LOL Surprise OMG not being included here? Do you also hope for them to have more dolls next year? And what do you think of the I Spy series and OMG Powerpuff Girls dolls? Moving on to the kind of lineups here for the other brands. Firstly, we have Yummy what we can expect for next year. So first, it says new wave of Valentine's lip gloss dolls, new wave of Easter lip gloss dolls, new wave of flavor reveal lip gloss dolls, third wave of large dolls releasing next year. So that is four waves basically of new things. So new Valentine's collaboration dolls, Easter collaboration dolls, flavor reveal, which I don't know what that means. I guess the ones that they're doing right now is that they have these kind of drops that you push into the lip gloss, and then that's how you reveal the flavor. I really don't know. I don't have those yet. I just have these sour sweeties, which I still have to unbox. And then the large dolls. Yes, I think the large dolls are kind of popular. I have reviewed all 5 of the first wave. There's a 6th one that came out. Skylar Rainbow Belt, is that her name? I didn't get her because I just wanted the core 5 characters, and they're really cute dolls. They're big, but they're not too big. They seem larger than they really are. It's just the heads that make them look really huge. They have really nice hair, and they are scented, so it's kind of exciting that we're getting more, but I wonder of what characters, maybe new characters just for large dolls, because Skylar Rainbow Belt, she still has not been introduced in the animated series, which kind of, I feel like maybe they're releasing too many new characters as dolls first and not actually giving them proper introductions in the animated series. I feel like they're falling back. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, it's what they do, right? They're all new characters, and I guess they don't have to all be in the animated series, right, on YouTube. So it doesn't have to be connected. But you'd think for a property like this where it's all based on kids getting attached to the characters and like wanting more dolls of the characters they love, you'd think like, oh yeah, they want to introduce all these characters also in an animated series and flesh out these characters and give them nice backstories and good stories, so the kids get more attached, right? That's just logic, right? But no, I guess not. I guess with the collaboration dolls, especially, they're gonna just rely on them being cute for them to sell. So, but yeah, new Valentines, okay, cute. The first two were really adorable. New Easter ones, okay, let's see what they do. Again, I feel like this is really reliable because the collaboration ones, especially, they do really well. Like the Valentines, the Peeps, Easter ones, those were popular. And the new upcoming Halloween ones and Christmas ones, those are going to do really well as well. So this makes sense. And let's see what they actually end up looking like, because so far we just have like the actual, like just the lineups, but what will they look like? More new characters. Let's see. Next we have Bratz, and we actually have a lot here. So Bratz Pop Stars new themed line, Stylin' Wave 2 Charms series. Dolls come with charms instead of shirts. And then lastly, Bratz What's in My Bag playset. Ooh, okay. So let's start off with the Bratz Pop Stars, since we actually have more information on these thanks to Sweet Snap on Instagram. Apparently, again, this might all be information that might have changed over time, but we did have shoes that have like new shoe molds for Bratz that have leaked a while ago, and they look really unique and like kind of like spacey. And apparently these shoe molds are actually part of the Bratz Pop Stars, which I guess makes sense because they are kind of like pop star vibes, like performance vibes. Yeah, okay, look, let's see. I mean, to me, it kind of feels like maybe, I don't know, it doesn't really fit the vibe of like pop stars, I don't know. I mean, let's see what they actually do with the concept. Then we also have slight descriptions of each character and what they will look like. So for Yasmin, it says light lilac color palette, high ponytail, Ariana Grande inspired look. Chloe, red coral color palette, space buns, Y2K punk outfit, question mark. Sasha, purple color palette, ponytail, not as much info on her. And then we have Jade with a mint green color palette, hair down with bangs, western question mark, outfit, think Chappelle Roan. So that, okay, right away, I'm like definitely thinking very much pop star inspired, especially with like Chaperone. Her, like if Jade's gonna be, like her outfit's gonna be inspired by that kind of like performance attire that we've seen from Chapel. That's gonna look amazing on Jade. I mean, let's see obviously what actually ends up happening. For Sasha, just more purple colors for her, which interesting. Fashion Pixie Sasha already has more purple, so I feel like maybe they're trying to give the girls different kind of color themes than they're used to. For Chloe, a red color palette, coral, interesting, space buns, Y2K punk. Okay, let's see what that ends up being. And then Yasmin, I think for me might be my favorite, just by the description alone. Light lilac color palette. We have a high ponytail, kind of Ariana Grande inspired look. Ooh, that's gonna look amazing. But overall, I'm excited. Let's see what ends up happening with this Pop Stars line. Of course, we do have a second wave of the new Stylin' dolls, with the second wave being more centered around charms. So instead of t-shirts, we will have charms included with a doll. Now, there's no official like lineup of the characters included in this series, but it's, it's very much just assumed that these would be the 4 main core girls once again, and not any of the secondary characters like Felicia or Dana or Megan, etc. Which, yeah, definitely sucks, because I feel like we should definitely get more dolls of other characters and not just always the 4 core girls. Even though I love them, we need more other dolls of characters. Yeah. So, but the place said, Bratz, what's in my bag? $35 US. What could that be? A bag inspired playset, like in a shopping mall, or like a bag that like kind of folds out and that place it is inside of the bag. I'm honestly, I'm not sure, but sounds interesting. What do you think of the lineup so far for Bratz? By the way, speaking of Bratz, did you also see that at Plastic Hearts received a defective Jean Paul Gaultier Sasha collector doll and emailed Bratz about getting a like a new one basically, but then Bratz emailed them back saying like, hey, yes, we'll give you a new one, but only if you deface the doll you already have. Basically scribble with black marker on her face, on the arms and leg, chop the hair off, and only then, once you send pictures of that doll being defaced, will we send you a new replacement doll. What? WTF? Okay, anyway, it was like under my impression that MJ Mattel, whenever you ask for like a refund or like a return doll, they usually deliver. They usually, like, at least in the US, they usually just send you a new doll completely. They don't really ask too many questions because I guess they really want to keep customer feedback positive, so they basically just give you anything. But I guess here, Bratz, MJ, they're like catching on. They're like, nope, you gotta deface. You gotta make sure that old doll definitely is no longer good, and then we will give you a new one. Okay. I don't know what's happening, but that just seems a little bit extreme, Bratz. And lastly, yes, we have new Rainbow High dolls coming in 2026, of course, but here we have a brand new line of core dolls that's been confirmed. It includes 5 new dolls of brand new characters. Their colors are pink, red, blue, teal, and purple. And then we have a new themed Shadow High line, a new themed line featuring Luna, Chanel, Natasha, and Heather. Okay. First of all, the Shadow High themed line seems very, very similar to the already released budget line that we just got like now from Shadow High, budget dolls. They just released on the official MJ website, I believe, or people are finding them already in person at Target stores. And now we're getting another Shadow High themed, which, yes, yay, we're getting Shadow High dolls, yes. But if it's just more budget dolls, like, to me, that's not interesting. Like, to me, that's not what I'm here for. Because it's like, well, what's the point? I mean, I get it. They have a point. They have a purpose. But to me, it's like, well, unless they're like nice dolls or like they have new outfits, more articulation, more accessories, like, well, what's the catch? So, like, do they have a gimmick? Are these dolls like gonna have a gimmick with like Play-Doh sand, slime, glitter, shakeable legs, markers, spray paint, acrylics, resin? Like, what's next, So I'm kind of like wondering, like, what this is, like, more budget dolls or collector dolls or gimmick dolls. So I want to be excited, but at the same time, knowing what we know and how Rainbow High behaves with releases and like just what they do, yeah, no, I'm not excited. I'm just gonna expect the worst. And then for the new core dolls, which includes new characters altogether, this is interesting. Okay, new core dolls of new characters, and the color theming for each character's doll is pink, red, blue, teal, and purple. Okay, right away, that's not a rainbow. Again, let me remind you, the whole purpose, the whole initial gimmick of Rainbow High was, it's a rainbow. Every character comes together to form a rainbow. Like, that was the whole thing. No other gimmicks were needed. That was the gimmick. Being able to display your dolls in order and forming a rainbow all together. Now, these new characters do not form a rainbow. So, I don't know, either they have to change Rainbow High, the name, because we're no longer getting rainbows here. Okay, guys, this is no longer a rainbow. It's just no longer the definition of a rainbow. So, it's a lie. But, or the characters just are like rainbow inspired. I don't know. Again, they could be pastels, they could be metallics, maybe there's a catch, maybe they have gimmicks as well. But I think the interesting part here is that they're new characters and they have they're like new core dolls. Like, they're kind of being described as like the next wave of characters that are going to be important to like the lore and story. So I'm honestly not sure, but the color themings, at least to me, are not interesting. Pink and red are too similar, like for one wave to have just by itself. Blue, teal, again, also too similar. And then purple. Okay, like, where's yellow? Where's orange? Where's green? But of course, we all know MJ does not have any trust in orange green or red dolls anymore, unless it's red here, because it might be some kind of like different shade of red. Also, where is Ruby? Like, where's Ruby, Violet, you know, Skylar, Bella? Like, again, new characters, but like, what's happening to the old characters? I'm confused. I'm excited, but also confused and worried. What's happening here? Lastly, for Rainbow High, we also have a couple of new stock photos of the brand new Color and Create house playset that they're going to be releasing this year. The layout, the actual structure is the same like the previous Rainbow High house, I believe. Just the accessories are a little bit different. There's less accessories here. There's like less furniture. The bedding is not included here. Like, there's no pillows, or, you know, like, it just feels less in quality overall. And then the main gimmick here, instead of like nice furniture and just having a nice looking house, the gimmick is basically they include markers and you're able to scribble on the entire house however you please. This will definitely do well with kids, you know, who like to draw. I think for me, even, I would have liked this as a kid, being able to kind of like, quote, design your own interior of your dream house or whatever, you know, dollhouse. It's a cute idea, but I think for us, most adult collectors, you know, if any of us are interested, we're probably gonna want the normal Rainbow High house and not this one, because this one just looks like a big doodle pad, like a big scribble little notebook, you know, like what you're scribbling in. So it just looks really random, and the designs are just, I mean, they're supposed to be random. They're supposed to be very like creative and art inspired. But still, you know, even the furniture just looks like cheaper. The furniture looks cheaper for sure. But yeah, it's a nice house, I guess, if you missed out on the first house. Let's see. And that was all of the information we have for right now regarding MJ releases for around springtime of 2026 with Rainbow High, Bratz, Yummyland. No L Surprise OMG, but I'm sure that will change, hopefully, fingers crossed. And so yeah, what do you think of this lineup so far? What are you most excited to see? And thanks to Seamount again for sharing all this information with us and always being a dependable and reliable source of news for all things dolls. Like, really, this is like, they are the GOAT. Like, really. Hope y'all enjoyed. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and please consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join us down below. If you're able to support our channel, that's great. There's a couple of perks and tiers as well to choose from if you're able to, of course, no pressure. And of course, so you don't miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the dollty you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time, stay peachy. Kisses.